ear for sounds, for ear consciousness, ear contact and feeling, and for all the other sense bases. You will remember that we read a similar sutta under the Kanda Samyutta. There, instead of the 6 sense bases, the Buddha says, when you develop concentration, things become manifest. And what is it that becomes manifest? Is the 5 aggregates. You see them as impermanent, as suffering, as not self. The next sutta, 35.161. On one occasion, the Blessed One was dwelling at Rajagaha in Jivaka's mango grove. There he addressed the monks thus: "Monks, make an exertion in seclusion. When a monk is secluded, things become manifest to him as they really are. And what becomes manifest to him as they really are is the same as the previous sutta. The eye, the forms, eye consciousness, eye contact, feeling that arises. Similarly for the other sense bases, all becomes very clear as they really are." So here you see this pair of suttas we read before. It's also found in the Kanda Samyutta. The Buddha stresses on concentration and seclusion. As I mentioned before, seclusion, there are 2 types of seclusion, Kaya Viveka and Chitta Viveka. Kaya Viveka is body seclusion, that means being aloof from other people. And Chitta Viveka is mental seclusion, that means going into the mind and becoming secluded from all thoughts and all mental workings. In other words, you dwell in the mind and not in the world of the 6 senses. So 2 things were always stressed by the Buddha: concentration and seclusion. The next sutta, 35.162. Then the Venerable Mahakotita approached the Blessed One and said to him, "Venerable Sir, it would be good if the Blessed One would teach me the Dhamma in brief, so that having heard the Dhamma from the Blessed One, I might dwell alone, withdrawn, diligent, ardent and resolute." Stop here for a moment. This Mahakotita is one of the famous arahants. So this sutta, since he has come to the Buddha for brief instructions to practice, must be before he was enlightened. Then the Buddha said, "Kotita, you should abandon desire for whatever is impermanent." And what is impermanent? The eye is impermanent. You should abandon desire for it. Forms are impermanent. You should abandon desire for them. Eye consciousness is impermanent. Similarly, the feeling that arises, contact and all that. So similarly for the other sense bases, the sense organ, the sense object is impermanent. The sense consciousness, the sense contact, and whatever feeling that arises, all is impermanent. So the Buddha says, you should abandon desire for whatever is impermanent. But you think about it, everything in the world is impermanent. So because everything in the world is impermanent, everything in the world will give us suffering if we cling to it. So understanding this, we should let go of craving for these things. And not only that, we must always remember that very soon we are going to die. And if we don't practice well, we're going to take a rebirth in a sorrowful place of rebirth. So it's the faster we practice, the better for us. Okay, 35.228, 228. It's on page 1226. The Buddha said, "Monks, the unlearned, ordinary worldling speaks of the ocean, but that is not the ocean in the noble one's discipline. That is only a great mass of water, a great expanse of water. The eye, monks, is the ocean for a person. Its current consists of forms. One who withstands that current consisting of forms is said to have crossed the ocean of the eye with its waves, whirlpools, sharks and demons, crossed over, gone beyond. The Brahmana stands on high ground. Similarly, the ear amongst is the ocean for a person. Its current consists of sounds. One who withstands the current consisting of sounds is said to have crossed the ocean of the ear with its waves, whirlpools, sharks and demons. Crossed over, gone beyond, the Brahmana stands on high ground. Similarly, for all the other sense bases, this is what the Blessed One said. Having said this, the Fortunate One, the teacher, further said, one who has crossed this ocean so hard to cross, with its dangers of sharks, demons and waves, the knowledge master who has lived the holy life, reached the world's end, is called one gone beyond. That's the end of the sutta. So here the Buddha says, to the ordinary person, the ocean is just the sea, the great expanse of water. But to a learned, noble disciple of the Buddha, the six sense objects is the ocean. And the current consists of the six sense bases, the six sense organs is the ocean. The current consists of the six sense objects. The six sense objects will have a lot of whirlpools and sharks and demons and waves and all this, storms and all that. That will come impinging on the six sense organs. And if you are not careful, you'll be drowned by all these sense objects. Can kill us also. So if we know how to go across this ocean, then the Brahmana stands on high ground. The Brahmana is a holy man. So the Buddha is telling us that our six senses, we have to be very careful. There's a lot of demons, waves and sharks and whirlpools all attacking us at the six sense basis through the six sense objects, forms. All kinds of forms will come in before your eye. All kinds of sounds will come to you. All kinds of smells, taste, touch, and thoughts. So it depends on you how you're going to react. If you don't know how to react skillfully, you'll get into big problem. So the Buddha is telling us that if we understand the Dhamma, then whatever these waves and demons and sharks and all that come, we just don't react. If you know how to keep our mind equanimous, we don't have craving as well as we don't have repulsion, aversion. If we don't know how to steady our mind, as the earlier sutta we read, when you see pleasant objects, you crave for pleasant objects. When you see ugly objects, you are repelled by ugly objects. Similarly with sounds, you hear nice sounds praising you, you become so happy. When you hear sounds criticizing you, you get so upset. So similarly for smells, taste, touch and thoughts. So the Buddha says, if we have a bit of kung fu, then whatever comes to attack us, and we just brush it off, just don't react. The next sutta is 35.230. Monks, suppose a fisherman would cast a baited hook into a deep lake, and a fish on the lookout for food would swallow it. That fish who has thus swallowed the fisherman's hook would meet with calamity and disaster, and the fisherman could do with it as he wishes. So too, monks, there are these 6 hooks in the world for the calamity of beings, for the slaughter of living beings. There are, monks, forms cognizable by the eye that are desirable, lovely, agreeable, pleasing, sensually enticing, tantalizing. If a monk seeks delight in them, welcomes them, and remains holding to them, he is called a monk who has swallowed Mara's hook. He has met with calamity and disaster, and the evil one can do with him as he wishes. There are monks, sounds cognizable by the ear, smells cognizable by the nose, taste cognizable by the tongue, touch cognizable by the body, and thoughts cognizable by the mind that are desirable, lovely, agreeable, pleasing, sensually enticing, tantalizing. If a monk seeks delight in them, welcomes them, and remains holding to them, he is called a monk who has swallowed Mara's hook. He has met with calamity and disaster, and the evil one can do with him as he wishes. There are monks, forms cognizable by the eye that are desirable, lovely, agreeable, pleasing, sensually enticing, tantalizing. If a monk does not seek delight in them, does not welcome them, and does not remain holding to them, he is called a monk who has not swallowed Mara's hook, who has broken the hook, demolished the hook. He has not met with calamity and disaster, and the evil one cannot do with him as he wishes. There are monks, sounds cognizable by the ear, odors cognizable by the nose, taste cognizable by the tongue, touch cognizable by the body, thoughts cognizable by the mind. If a monk does not seek delight in them, does not welcome them, does not remain holding to them, he is called a monk who has not swallowed Mara's hook, who has broken the hook, demolished the hook. He has not met with calamity, and the evil one cannot do with him as he wishes. That's the end of the sutta. So here, just like the fisherman wanting to catch the fish, he puts a hook with a bait on it, like a worm or something, into the water, and the hungry fish will come and swallow the bait and get hooked. Then he's at the mercy of the fisherman. So similarly, Mara has put out 6 hooks for us. These 6 hooks with the bait. What is the bait? Forms, beautiful forms for us to see, beautiful sounds to entice us, beautiful smells and lovely taste and touch and thoughts. So if we are not careful, then we're going to enjoy these worldly pleasures. Then we are caught by Mara's hook. We become a slave to them. Then we cannot get free of the hook. We become a slave of Mara. And there are some people who are hooked very badly, like drug addicts, and drunks and all that. So all these suttas are giving us warning that the world is not so pleasurable as you think. Not so enjoyable. You can enjoy first and then you pay for them with tears later. I think I'll stop here for the moment. Anything to discuss? We're coming towards the end of the chapter, and the suttas are very interesting. Put the mic towards you. Don't face it at all. Yeah.
Why do they say there are 6 hooks in the world for the calamity of beings, for the slaughters of living beings? Why do they use the word slaughter?
Kill you because if you are hooked by the 6 hooks, you'll be whirled around the samsara, the round of rebirths. You'll be slaughtered many times. You have to die many times. The round of samsara, cycle of birth and death.